What's going on YouTube? Welcome back. For those of you who are new, my name is Brad Sherman, and on this channel we explore tips, strategies, and experiences that I have had that will help you start and build up your Amazon FBA wholesale business. I have been selling on Amazon for just over a year and a half now with my top monthly sales revenue of $84,000. In this video, we will be covering my top 9 steps for how you can start your Amazon FBA wholesale business in 2020. Without further ado, let's jump right into the video. In this video, we are going to cover 9 tangible and actionable steps that you can take in order to help start your Amazon FBA wholesale business. And we're going to start with step number 1. And this step involves legitimizing your Amazon account. This means that Amazon is going to request bank statement information and different documents in order to legitimize and verify your identification on Amazon. Now guys, Amazon is very strict with this process, so you need to make sure that all of your documents, including your driver's license, bank statement information, everything is consistent throughout. If there is one single thing that is off, Amazon may suspend your account and they may not let you sell on the platform. This is just the reality of doing business on Amazon. Amazon made it so that selling on their platform is not the easiest process, and this was done to eliminate things like inauthentic products and counterfeit products. There's been a lot of Chinese sellers that have hopped onto the market and hijacked listings, and Amazon has this very intensive verification process so that they can weed out those bad sellers and keep the good third-party sellers on their platform. If you stick to their guidelines, you will have no problems with getting your Amazon account set up. Part of getting your Amazon account set up is determining whether you are going to use an individual selling plan or a professional selling plan. And there's a couple differences between the two. The main one being is that with an individual plan, Amazon charges you $1 per every unit sale. With a professional plan, Amazon charges you a $39.99 monthly fee. These two charges do not include the referral fees and the pick and prep fees that they charge you when using their FBA model or selling merchant fulfilled on the platform. If you are going to sell more than 40 units in a month, then it is absolutely worth going with the professional plan. If you are serious at all about your business, and if you want to start and build up a serious wholesale business, I would say you definitely have to have the professional selling plan. It gives you access to many more tools in Amazon Seller Central, including pay-per-click advertising, which can be very important down the road. Step number 2 for starting up your Amazon FBA wholesale business is to legitimize your actual business. And what this means is that if you are going to build out a real wholesale business, it is of your best interest to grab an business EIN number, which, what is a business EIN? A business EIN is a unique tax identification number that the federal government gives you that recognizes you as a business on the federal level. You are also absolutely going to need a resale permit. What is a resale permit? This is a document that gives you a unique number that you can purchase tax exempt from companies. One thing to keep in mind is that if you are reaching out to wholesale companies, they are absolutely 9 times out of 10 going to ask for a resale permit. And if you don't have a resale permit, or if you don't have a business EIN, technically by the book, you are not a legal business entity. And it just simply looks better for these suppliers because, guys, let's be honest, a lot of companies that we work with do not want to sell to Amazon sellers. So anything you can do to legitimize yourself with the company is going to prove in your favor. Something that you also should decide when legitimizing your business is, are you going to be a sole proprietorship? Are you going to be an LLC? And what is the difference? A sole proprietorship is a business that operates straight through to the individual. There is no limited liability. A sole proprietorship means that you incur all of the liability, regardless of the type of business that you run. With an LLC, you have now established a legal business entity that is separate from your personal assets. It's very wise to create an LLC because it does give you that limited liability. It does get a little bit complicated in terms of taxes, and depending on if you are a sole proprietorship or if you are a partnership or a limited liability company, there are going to be different tax implications. By no means am I giving you tax advice in this video, but it is something that you have to consider before starting up your Amazon business. So it is very important that you communicate with your accountant to help you determine what the best course of action is. Another component to legitimizing your business is creating a business email address. You do look a little bit more professional if you have your company name domain at the end of your email address. Guys, this is something that is very cheap to start up. You can go to GoDaddy or you can go to any of these email domain sites and sign up for an email domain, and you get your own unique email. A lot of them are through Microsoft Outlook. You also have an option of creating a landing page to direct your suppliers when they ask you if you have a website. This is a very marketable component. Personally, I have built my business up to this point without a website, so it is not something that you need. However, it does help. Guys, I don't want you to get too caught up with all of the different things that you have to do, because we do want to start reaching out to companies, because the most important piece of this is that you're sourcing suppliers and calling suppliers. So don't get too caught up with building out a website. If it's something that you don't have much time for, I would pass by it for right now, maybe pick that up at some point in the future. Step number 3 is something that I have gone over in several previous videos, and that is to establish your buying criteria. Don't start sourcing product until you determine a general buying criteria that you're going to start out with, and this does go back to how much capital that you have. Personally, I started out with the 33 no AMZ model. I use a minimum of a 30% return on investment, a minimum of a $3 profit per unit sale, and I look for Amazon to not be on the product listing. This is a great way to mitigate risk, because if you're just starting out, you are taking a higher ROI, so you are getting more profit for the amount of money that you invest. And I do cover all of this in my previous video, so I will link that video down in the description for you guys to check out. Once you have your sourcing criteria down, and it does not have to be the 33 no AMZ, it can be whatever works for you and your capital needs and your goals. Step number 4, source. This is the most important step in the process, because it is the lifeblood of your business. An Amazon business grows because of having profitable inventory, whereas with a lot of other businesses, the main goal is to acquire customers if you do not have a customer base. However, with wholesale, we are selling name brand products on a platform that has millions and millions of buyers already. So the buyers are already going to your products. So the most important tool is not to acquire those customers, rather the most important component is having high profitable inventory levels. And the only way you get there is by sourcing profitable companies and doing so over and over again. Step number 5 is to call companies. Set a call goal. Call 10 per day, Monday through Friday, or call 20 per day, Monday through Friday. I cover this in my other videos. This is a key component, because from sourcing and calling, that is how you are getting your profitable inventory. Guys, set a reasonable goal for how many calls you will make in a week. Maybe you can only call 5 companies per day, and that's okay to start out, but make it a goal. Maybe one week you'll call 5 companies Monday through Friday. The next week, call 6 companies Monday, Tuesday through Friday, and so on and so forth, until you can work up to a more substantial amount of calls. And this proves it every time. Personally, when I'm calling on a frequent basis, Monday through Friday, that is when I'm closing accounts. that is when I'm finding profitable products. This is absolutely critical, and it's the number one correlation that I see with sales is how many companies that you call directly translates to how many profitable wholesale accounts that you close, which then translates to how much your sales are and your profit as a business. Step number 6, it's time to go through a price list or multiple price lists. So you've sourced your suppliers through reverse sourcing or storefront stocking. You have called 10 to 20 a day, Monday through Friday. Now you have some price lists to go through. And there's a couple different routes that you could take when going through price lists. Route number 1, there's some great scanning software out there that you can use that can make the process much more efficient. However, keep in mind that a lot of these softwares do require the price lists to have UPC codes, which are universal product codes that can be translated from the price list to Amazon. So you can simply copy and paste that UPC code, punch it into Amazon, and you derive the product. You can also go through these price lists manually yourself, or you can outsource it and hire a VA to do so. Step number 7, after you have went through the price list, now you have determined what products are profitable and what products are not profitable. So the next step that you need to take is place a test order. Placing test orders is my best way of mitigating risk. Not all companies are going to allow this, but if they do not mention a test order, let's say they have an MOQ, it is definitely worth asking if you would be able to place a test order at a lower profit point, because a lot of companies, as we know, work off of a pyramid type structure, and you have to buy a higher quantity in order to get a higher discount. Step number 8, once you have placed your test order, it's time to determine shipping and logistics. Some companies ship direct to Amazon's fulfillment center. This is really nice because all you have to do is place a purchase order with the company and they send the inventory, whether it's case packed, individual unit packed. And guys, this is something I will cover in a lot more detail in another video, just the whole process of shipping direct to Amazon or shipping to you and then getting that shipment to Amazon. That's a whole topic in and of itself. Step number 9, and my final step in the process, you've created your shipment, you've sent in your inventory utilizing Amazon FBA. It's now time to let the sales come in, restock and repeat. So you start selling your product, and based on the velocity that you're doing, you have to go back, source more companies, call more companies, shipments, and then send out to Amazon. And it's a process that cycles through itself over and over again. So this is what I want to help you guys understand. Once you reach your first account, guys, the sky is literally the limit. You can build out 20, 50, 100 wholesale accounts, and each of those wholesale accounts generates you X amount in revenue per month, and you now have a system and a process in place. This is the great part about building a wholesale business, and it's what differentiates this business model from, say, a retail arbitrage or online arbitrage model. And that is that you are building a system and you are building an asset that is ultimately sellable one day. And this is really building a business, because with arbitrage, there's not a whole lot of long-term substance. You're more just flipping products and you're constantly replenishing. You can definitely build out a very profitable business with retail arbitrage, but with wholesale, you're setting up a system of accounts. That is something of substance that you can one day sell, and that's what building a business is about. That's the process, guys. You can rinse and repeat this process over and over again based on how fast you want to grow. The lifeblood of the business is sourcing products, making phone calls, and you can start to outsource some of the other processes. Those are my 9 steps to starting and building your Amazon FBA wholesale business. If you have any questions, please drop a comment down below. I'd love to answer your questions. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button and notification bell if you want to stay up to date on all of the wholesale content that I will be putting out. Thank you guys for watching. For those of you who are new, welcome to the channel. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you next time.